Tornadic touchdowns, possible multi-vortex structure here up in the wind farm between Okarche and Piedmont right now. Go Mason Dunn. Mason?
Yeah, Mike, with this tornado coming down on the ground, the winds, I'm fighting the winds fiercely here. I stay out of the wind farm, but it's okay. We're kind of having to look behind us right now as I can move off to the east. I can tell you the winds have picked up tremendously. As you can imagine, with the inflow.
So we also have ground trackers here on this as well. Let's go over to Max 2, show you where this is and where it's going. So here's Oklahoma County, here's Logan County, here's Kingfisher County, here is Canadian County. There's Four Corners right there to the north of Piedmont, north of Deer Creek, Edmond, and the tornado's located just barely into Kingfisher County, coming out of Canadian County now, tracking toward Cashion, very close to the town of Reading. So Cashion, you're in the direct line of this. It's now 3:23, talking about 3:34 or before. So within 10 minutes time right now, tornado conditions possible in your area. From there, Twin Lakes, Cimarron City, Lake Lottawatta. From there, Crescent, should go near or south of Crescent. And then Guthrie. You folks in Guthrie, Cedar Valley Golf Course, Cedar Valley. Tornado conditions may easily be moving toward you as well. Let's go back over to the chopper, and also we'll check in with we have two ground crews on it as well from Chopper 4 here looking at it live. Looks like it may potentially have currently lifted, Mason. Very difficult to tell because of all the soup, but he's tracking it live. Mason?
Yeah, Mike, right now I'm going to have to make a turn to the left here. We're getting a little bit of downdrafts where I'm at, so I'm having to be careful around these wind farms and the low ceilings. So the wind farms right there, we're going to have to farm, but I don't know if it's on the ground still, but definitely a lowering still. And like I've been saying, the winds have picked up tremendously from the southeast, Mike.
Okay, appreciate that. Let's go over to the Interceptor 4. Again, intermittent tornado touchdown here to the north of Piedmont right now, barely into Kingfisher County, southeastern corner of Kingfisher County, northwest of Deer Creek, Edmond. So you folks around Four Corners, stay very, very alert. It's just to your west through north right now, and then up toward Cedar Valley Golf Course, Lake Lottawatta, Cimarron City, and Cashion. You folks be prepared to go to your tornado safe spot, as we've already had multiple touchdowns. Could have been multi-vortex in structure. Mark Dillard, Interceptor 4, joins us live. So that's the view from the Interceptor looking at the back of the storm here. You see the rain-free base right here. You see a large inflow cloud here coming in, and it's very, very low to the ground. If they would take the chopper right there. So looks to be intermittent touchdown here, and still quite possibly tornadic at any time. Basically just intermittent touchdowns here near and just on the north side of the windmill farm up here to the northwest and west of Four Corners. So wall cloud continues, rotation continues, tornado warning continues with this. Mason Dunn's got an excellent shot looking at it here live from the chopper. Mason?
Yeah, Mike, we've moved off to the south a little bit. We got a little lowering in the back. I don't think that's anything at the moment. If there is a tornado on the ground to the right, Travis, you want to pan out and look to the right. It's rain wrapped right now. You can still see a little bit of a wall cloud here though, and so we're still trying to keep up with it. You know, we're just hanging out here. The winds are fierce, and the conditions aren't that great, but we'll deal with it, and we're going to keep right up here with it and keep you updated, Mike.
Okay, appreciate that. Let's go ahead and hold Mason's shot here. So still continued tornado warning in effect.
Cashion and Twin Lakes are sounding their sirens.
Cashion and Twin Lakes, Oklahoma, both are sounding their sirens right now. Good call there, especially you folks in Cashion. Let's go over to Max 2, and we'll check in with we got two ground trackers tracking it. So here's the hook. Still looks very much tornadic right now, so heading on up toward Cashion and Reading, Oklahoma, and from there Highway 33 up toward Crescent and Cimarron City and Twin Lakes and Lake Lottawatta. Sirens are now going off in advance of this. Let's go to Aaron Brackett here live. He's tracking it from the ground. Still looks to be at least intermittent tornadic here from time to time. Tornado warning continues. Aaron?
Yeah, Mike, between Okarche and Kingfisher right now, so it's going to be just off to our east, and we're actually kind of hanging out in this spot just to really cover the whole storm in case it tries to do anything on the backside. Still, hearing Mason's reports about lots of inflow and a lot of turbulence out here. So dark skies off to our east. We're getting a really good view of the backside of the storm structure. It's a lot of kind of cauliflower-looking cumulus, so it's very, very strong and continues to show a lot of upward growth, Mike.
Okay, appreciate that, Aaron. That's tracking that storm continuing. Let's go back over to the chopper. Looks like it may be back on the ground again. Again, for you folks around Highway 33. So, Mason, looks like it may be back on the ground again. Visibility is poor. Very thick humidity out here. He has strong inflow, 50 miles an hour plus. So it looks like it is back on the ground again, just to the northwest of Four Corners. Mason joins us here live tracking it. Mason?
Yeah, Mike, we're making our way. We're between Piedmont and Cashin now, looking to the west. It appears that it is on the ground. There's a lot of precip, or as I look at the wall cloud now, it may not be on the ground here, but still a lot of rain and wind. We're actually right over the wind farm now. We've gained a little altitude, no big problem. So right now we're just hanging out here with it, Mike, keeping an eye on it, and we'll keep you updated. Back to you.
Okay, let's go over to Max 2, and let's go intermittent touchdowns here. Tornado warning continues. Still has an established hook with it. So here's Highway 33. So it'll travel to the east of Kingfisher and near and to the west. It's going to go west of Guthrie now. Looks like it'll go quite a bit to the west of Guthrie. It's likely going to lean more to the northeast with time, but we're talking about Wandle and Reading, and then from there up to Crescent and near and to the west through north of Cashin. Let's go back to the intensity display here and check that out. So you still see the hook there. Let's do a storm projection on that and take it basically just maybe on the west side of Crescent. Damien, talking about western Logan County here. From there, maybe up even as far north as Mulhall and Orlando, a little bit farther up to the north. But it's been trying to lean more to the northeast, but it's still doing a pretty good job at moving north-northeast, which may get Guthrie certainly out of the potential path. That's been the trend here lately, that it hasn't made much of a right-hand turn yet. Tried to lean when it was producing a tornado, it was leaning more to the northeast. But right now, more north-northeastward. So Wandle and Crescent and Mulhall at 407, Orlando at 414. Heads up for you folks in the Stillwater area right here, Lake McMurtry, Stillwater, I-35 and Highway 51. I-35, Highway 51, heads up for you. There's the track on that right now tornado-warned storm with intermittent touchdowns, multiple vortex in structure there at times. And that tornado a short while ago, 5 minutes ago, 10 minutes ago, back when it crossed from Canadian County into Kingfisher County. Okay, so let's go back over to Max 1, give you an overview. And here's the PDS tornado watch in green. Particularly dangerous situation. One tornado warning in our state right now, that is between Kingfisher and Guthrie, very close into the west of Cashin. So one tornado warning. Oklahoma County, there is no tornado warning in effect right now. We're under a tornado watch for the conditions being favorable for additional severe weather. Look at all the severe thunderstorm warnings, though. Garfield County, Dewey County, southeastern Woodward County, southwestern and southern Major County, over through Roger Mills County and far northern Custer County. Also notice, and we have trackers also in far western Oklahoma, tornado warnings are now just to the west of Greer County, just to the southwest of Eric, Elk City, and Sayre. Over here, not too far from Shamrock and McLean, Texas, and then down near Childress, Texas, tornado warnings there. This is a second wave that'll be coming into western Oklahoma, and that wave will also affect the metro deeper into the evening hours. Here it is 3:31. This wave will be affecting central Oklahoma a little bit deeper into the evening hours. Here's Chopper 4. This looks like tornado here redeveloping now, looking at it live. Notice that has a very, very low wall cloud. There's a tornado coming down right there live. So another tornado on the ground here, just to the south of Highway 33, southwest of Cashin, Oklahoma. Look how quickly it's changing shape. Tornado on the ground. Mason Dunn, Air Comfort Solutions, Chopper 4, doing a great job battling 50-mile-an-hour inflow into the tornado. Mason now joins us live. Mason? So go ahead, Mason, you're on. So that is a tornado again on the ground. Also, yep, looks like we have two areas here of rotation. 2 areas of rotation. This also appears to be quite possibly, it is on the ground, tornado on the ground here as well. This is a larger tornado here, folks. Larger tornado. Damien, tell me the velocity signature is going to come up very, very quickly. Tornado on the ground here. This one is a larger tornado. We have 2 tornadoes on the ground right now. This one is a larger tornado. Mason, I would encourage you to lean more to the north. Lean more to the north so you're more east of this instead of southeast of it, just to clear the view up just a bit. So you might lean more due northward from your location. Folks, this is a significantly large tornado on the ground. It appears to be multi-vortex in structure. This is a big-time tornado right here. Big-time tornado on the ground. Multi-vortex. Look at the motion. Look at the motion here. Again, live from Air Comfort Solutions Chopper 4 here. This is just on the far northwest sides of the Oklahoma City Metro. This is a big-time tornado here, north of Piedmont, west of Guthrie, heading for Cashin, Oklahoma, all right? Violent tornadoes are possible today, folks, and that was not far away from being a violent tornado. There's no such thing as a non-violent tornado, but in terms of high-velocity winds, this one's not too far away from being up there in terms of high-velocity winds, the ones that really create a lot of damage. This is multi-vortex in structure, and I would offer to you that the tornado, in terms of the overall size, is larger than the cloud portion that you can see. It has many vortexes embedded in this extremely low wall cloud. This is the kind that produces these wedge-type tornadoes, all right? The ones that are especially dangerous, all right? Trailers are not safe. Mobile homes are not safe. Portable buildings are not safe. High-end tornadoes are possible today. Let's go to Mason Dunn here looking at it live. Again, that is a very large circulation there with intermittent, significant multi-vortex touchdowns. Let's go back. It's a big one. This is a big tornado here developing, folks. This is dangerous, heading into Logan County, north of Four Corners. Mason joins us live.
Yeah, Mike, right now I'm northwest of Cashin, looking to the west. As you can see, the lowering and the tornado here. This is going to be headed towards Crescent, I believe. It is going about 40, 45 knots. You may lose my signal because I'm leaning the helicopter so far and the antenna is pointed to the west. So we're trying to, you know, the inflow is just incredible coming into this storm. So what I'm going to have to do now is I'm going to have to make a turn back to the right and let the storm catch up to me because it is behind us a little bit. So hope you don't lose our signal here. I'm going to try to take it easy. And as I turn the helicopter back to the south, and let Travis stay on that right there. So right now, the helicopter is pointed directly to the southeast where the wind's coming from. I'm going to kind of fly away from the storm a little bit. And it's going to recycle, Mike. The storm is pretty impressive. It looks really impressive on radar as we are right in the notch there. We're right just to the east of the notch that you see there. So
Mason,
we're right up here with it, Mike. We'll keep an eye on it back.
Yep, and definitely hang with you here for sure. Folks, look at the inflow, right? The inflow, look at the top of your screen here. The inflow is impressive. We have a very low and a very large wall cloud with intermittent tornadic activity here. It may or may not have completely lifted. Okay, so you have these rapidly rotating scud tags. Look how fast these are all changing shape. So easily could be multi-vortex occasional touchdowns underneath the center of that rotation. But notice the inflow coming in up high and then down here on the what we call the collar, right? The collar of the wall cloud, the spin rate is also very high. And the storm itself is moving quickly. So this is dangerous. You see it changing shape very, very fast. Let's go over to Max 2. And let's show you where this is. Again, it is a well-defined hook. It's just now crossing Highway 33 near Wandle and Reading, Oklahoma. From there, we're talking about Crescent. So Crescent, Oklahoma, you folks are in danger. Again, trailers are not safe. They're great places to live, but trailers, mobile homes, any portable buildings, they will not be safe in tornadic winds, especially given the elevated threat today of these larger, more violent tornadoes. So you need, if you're in those type of structures, you need to recognize that, and if this approaches you, take extraordinary tornado precautions someplace other than that trailer, mobile home, or temporary structure. This would not be something we'd want to mess with in terms of those buildings. More substantial shelter, storm cellar, basement, tornado shelter, a substantial structure, interior part of the structure, away from windows, small room, like a closet or a bathroom. Again, we're talking about Crescent, Oklahoma. So you folks in Crescent, immediate danger. And then from there up to Mulhall and heads up for Stillwater. Heads up for Payne County, McMurtry, Lake Carl, Blackwell, Stillwater, Coyle, Langston, not too far from Coyle, Langston, just to the northwest of there. So heads up, Logan County, coming out of Kingfisher County near Wandle. It's going to be tracking extremely close to the small farming community of Wandle here, north and near of Highway 33. So let's go back over to the chopper. It is the only tornado warning that we have in effect. Say that again? Crescent is sounding sirens. Good call there. So again, let's go back over to Mason Dunn in the chopper. Mason?
Mike, right now we have a funnel coming down. It's a weak funnel, but we actually have one. A lot of rotation in this storm still. It appears that the wall cloud is getting bigger. I'm having to move out to the east a little to stay out from underneath it. So we're still following this storm. We are now coming up northwest of Cashin, looking to the west. This, right now, I would say Crescent just got some rain and lightning, and they got to watch out for this wall cloud coming in. Hopefully it'll go to the west of them, but like I said, we're right up here with it, Mike, and we'll keep you updated.
Okay, Mason, appreciate that. So we continue here with intermittent touchdowns. You saw the funnel cloud there. There's a lot of motion up here high, a lot of inflow, and then around the collar of the wall cloud, the rotation rate is quite strong. And we had a kind of a wedge-shaped tornado, if you saw joining us there just a very short while ago, a multi-vortex wedge-shaped tornado. And also just notice here from the chopper, the storm itself is moving pretty quickly. And look at the motion here coming in. This is all inflow to the front right side of the mesocyclone, and then underneath that is this kind of block-looking structure here that blocks down from the rain-free base. Solid. It's also very large across, also very low, and we're getting occasional little spin downs around the perimeter or the edge of the center of the spin, which is located right here. Let's show folks where that is, Damien, in terms of Logan County. Coming out of Kingfisher County, again, occasional touchdowns here do continue. A little swirl, saw a little funnel cloud there that touched down moments ago, and it's looks very much still continuing to be tornadic. Looking at, let's just hold this shot here. So you folks in Crescent, tornado precautions. There it goes right there. Another little spin down there, another spin down. So this is going to be intermittent touchdowns, little swirls down here at the cloud base, extending down to the ground. Keep in mind, this is all spinning very quickly right here. Continued tornado warning. So it spins up, and then goes into the center of circulation, kind of in a corkscrew fashion. So you see this happening over and over again. So you look down here on the ground for a little ground spin up, swirling rain bands and such. Mason doing a great job here in difficult situation here at the chopper as he's battling 50-mile-an-hour plus inflow on this tornadic supercell that's now tracking directly toward Crescent, Oklahoma, with a tornado warning in effect. Let's go back over to Max 2, show folks where this is, do a storm tracker on it. Again, dangerous situation here, folks, because the tornado was wedge-shaped and multi-vortex a short while ago and got fairly large in a pretty big hurry. So maybe lean it a little bit more to the northeast since it's failed to make that turn. There you go. There, perfect. Perfect, Damien, perfect. Okay, so Crescent, and then from there up, could be as far north as Perry. So there's your timeline, 4:32, but Mulhall at 4:10, Orlando at 4:17. Current time is 3:43. Perry could go up to Perry. You folks in Stillwater, heads up, 4:39. 4:39, currently 3:43. And everybody around Perry, over to Morrison, over to Stillwater, Lake Carl, Blackwell, Lake McMurtry, Mulhall, Orlando, back to Crescent immediately, north of Guthrie, but not by very much. North of Guthrie, not by very much. Let's go back over to the chopper. That's the time of arrival there for this intermittent tornado touchdown, tornado warned storm that is quite significant and dangerous up here coming into Logan County out of Kingfisher County. Let's go back over to the chopper here with Mason Dunn. Mason?
Yeah, Mike, right now you can see a little bit of the skid in the shot. We're kind of headed out to the southeast. I'm going to make a turn to the left here. You can see, if you pan out just a little bit, Travis, the wall cloud is getting bigger, Mike. It's a huge circulation. You just see the dark wall cloud hanging out there, but the wall cloud above is huge and circulating. So I can feel that, so we're having to move out to the east a little bit as I come around slowly to the left. And we're going to keep tracking this wall cloud. I'm directly north of Cashin now, looking to the west, northwest towards Dover as this lowering heads towards Crescent right now, Mike.
Okay, great job, Mason. Again, look, so again, we're getting a wedge shape here again, right? So we have the wall cloud. Below that, we've got a funnel cloud here, wedge. It's wedge shaped. It's kind of dragging. Yeah, there you go. See, it's on the ground right there. On the ground, continued on the ground. So basically, even though you can't really see the cloud part of it, it's producing intermittent touchdowns. You see it kind of dragging back behind the center of circulation. That's the tornado dragging across the landscape because of friction. So it's on the ground right through here. Mason, if you can, push on back in. Did a great job showing that swirl. Push on back in there. It's on the ground again. Folks, it's definitely multi-vortex, and it's pretty good size. It's pretty big. This is west and north of Guthrie right now. So let's go ahead and maybe go a little bit over to your right, and let's kind of lift up a little bit up to the horizon. And, okay, now maybe pull back a little bit. Yeah, so it's continued on the ground. It's multi-vortex, and it may be on the ground more than it is off the ground. So, in other words, don't be deceived by the fact you don't see a classic funnel cloud that is all the way down to the ground. The tornado's dragging the landscape here. You see the concentrated area of rain and spin. That's the tornado on the ground. So this is dangerous. The tornado continues. It is heading for Crescent, Oklahoma. Crescent, Oklahoma, tornado precautions. Could be a reasonably strong tornado and fairly large from time to time. It is on the ground right now. Mason joins us live. Tornado continues. Mason?
Yeah, Mike, I am directly north of Cashin, looking to the west. As you can see, this tornado is still on the ground. It's very, can't see it all the way to the ground, but that doesn't mean it's not on the ground. As we, this storm is looking impressive. Pan out a little bit and go, pan out, Travis, and go to the right. There's a tornado here, and then we got a lowering right here, Mike, and that's the signature M that I've always seen. Look at that, another tornado. Almost got two tornadoes on the ground at one time, Mike.
Looks like it may go just to the west of Crescent. Could be not. All right, but look at this. Larger tornado here on the ground again. Larger tornado on the ground. Another lowering here just ahead of it, but a larger tornado again on the ground. Again, folks, the dynamics today, the wind and the instability, are a kind of day that produces these wedge-type tornadoes that are dangerous in terms of higher velocity winds. Tornado on the ground. Also, look over here. Here's another one. It's a giant. What it is, folks, is a giant circulation. Giant circulation. This is a developing extremely large tornado, okay? You've got a tornado there. You've got a tornado there. Two on the ground right now underneath a giant parent circulation. So both of these are tornadoes, and I would venture to guess that the distance between those two is over a half a mile apart, okay? Over a half a mile apart. Multi-vortex, two on the ground at the same time, separated by a half a mile of distance. So you're talking about a large, developing violent, very low, fast-moving tornado. These are the kind that cause the most trouble for folks. So near Crescent, west and north of Crescent, multi-vortex, large tornado. That was impressive. What you just saw right there, that was impressive. Even by Oklahoma standards, that was impressive. Exceptionally dangerous here. Crescent on up toward Orlando and Mulhall, large multi-vortex tornado. Look at that, back on the ground. Mason Dunn joins us here live. Mason, spectacular shot here, but so very dangerous.
Yeah, Mike, unfortunately we're having to move out a little bit. This thing, I can only keep the helicopter so long pointed to the north because it actually is sucking us into this. So right now we're kind of headed out to the east. The inflow is tremendous. I saw 2 tornadoes on the ground there that now has formed maybe into one big tornado. So unfortunately, Travis is trying to give you a good shot here, but we are trying to stay safe and stay out of the, like I said, the wall cloud above has gotten a lot bigger, and I can definitely feel that as we are coming back around to the left, and you can see tornado still on the ground here, Mike.
Folks, this is really, really dangerous. Very, very dangerous. Let's go back over to Max 2. And we don't want to stay off the shot too long. Great job double boxing that. Very dangerous, folks. Cannot express to you enough how dangerous this is up in Logan County. Crescent, if you live in West Crescent, Central Crescent, North Crescent, you've got to be in the safest spot you know. Don't let this thing run over you in the condition that it's in right now, because the winds could easily be up there in terms of tornado intensity winds. Could be these EF3 to EF4 type tornadoes. You may be seeing it actually forming right now. If you can get below ground, that is the best possible option. Storm cellar, basement, tornado shelter, mobile homes, trailers, portable structures are not safe. You need to evacuate those and seek more substantial shelter. Talking about Crescent on up to Highway 51. Mulhall, you folks in Mulhall, definite alert for you. Exceptionally dangerous here. Continues intermittently on the ground. Let's go ahead and push on into that, Damien. Let's push into it. You'll see the tornado vortex signature right there. It is large. It's confirming now, right? It's confirming, the red and the green, that the size of that circulation is over a mile in width. And it had a tornado on each side of it that was separated by over a half a mile. So you're talking about a large, quite possibly violent tornado. Here's Crescent. Let's go ahead and do a storm projection. Basically, go back to intensity and do it due northeastward. Take it due northeast. So these are the folks right here. Go ahead and push on into it just a bit. You folks in Stillwater, heads up. Heads up in Stillwater. Heads up in Stillwater. So Mulhall, Orlando. Yep, take it due. That's perfect. Perfect. Okay, so right here. Mulhall, Orlando, near and south of Perry. Stillwater 437. Glencoe 451, Sumner 441. Again, if you're on this chart right here, beginning with Mulhall, Orlando, and West and North Crescent immediately now, tornado precautions, and keep in mind, the winds may be up in the 200-mile-per-hour range, plus with these tornadoes today, talking about EF3 and greater tornadoes, you need to take this heed. Importantly here, Logan County, north of Guthrie, southwest of Stillwater, you folks in Stillwater, heads up there to your west and approaching you, and also Perry. So anybody between Perry, Stillwater, back down to the southwest. Let's go back over to the chopper, back on the ground here, back on the ground. Again, it's kind of wedge-shaped here. Again, you see the motion. The motion is intense. Feel free to take that full control room. The motion is intense, and you see how quickly it's moving. It's moving very, very fast. So the most important thing are those mobile homes, trailers, portable buildings, not safe. You don't want this to run over you in that type of structure. You probably have a storm cellar nearby, or maybe you got a friend that has a more substantial structure nearby. You need to go there. Talking about Crescent right now, and then up toward Orlando and Mulhall, Oklahoma, and up between Perry and Stillwater here just a bit later on. We'll hope that it lifts, but right now it has not.
Logan County deputy said Crescent is going to be okay.
Yep. Right there on the west and northwest sides of Crescent here. Mason, do us a favor here. Show us Crescent. Show us Crescent in relation to the tornado right now. Probably west through north side of Crescent.
Yeah, Mike, we're going to pan out. Go all the way right, Travis. I'm actually 1 mile just to the west of Crescent. It's going to miss Crescent proper. They have the highways closed here. Emergency vehicles, keep going to the right. Keep coming to the right. Yeah, there's Crescent right there. Now go back to the left to the tornado. Travis doing a good job. I'm not making it easy on him. We're kind of all over the place. So here, go left, right in there. It's getting more and more impressive. As you can see there, hopefully it just goes through farmland. It appears there might be a house or two out there, as you can see. Narrowly missing this house, just to the west of this house. So the winds are fierce there. I can see a multiple vortex spin-ups right there. So definitely have a large tornado on the ground, even though the condensation funnel or something blowing in the wind there, even though you can't see the condensation funnel all the way to the ground. Definitely have a tornado to the ground here, Mike.
Crossing County Road 72 north of Crescent at Dover Road.
2.5 west, 1 north of Crescent.
2.5 west, 1 north of Crescent would be the ground truth on that tornado right there. It will miss Crescent. The center of circulation, the tornado circulation will miss Crescent just to the northwest and north. Again, Mason Dunn doing a spectacular job in Air Comfort Solutions Chopper 4 right here. Multi-vortex, occasionally large tornado, fast-moving tornado, occasionally looked like a violent tornado. This has been on the ground now for quite some time. This is northwest of Guthrie, quite a ways. So you folks in Guthrie, from this particular storm, you're fine. Heads up for Perry and Stillwater here a bit later on. Right now located northwest of Crescent. That is live from Air Comfort Solutions Chopper 4. We're basically watching this tornado cross by. Let's broaden out the shot here, Mason. Let's broaden out the shot. And look there, other circuit. See here, look, here's another one on the ground right here. Back over. Again, once again, folks, 2 tornadoes on the ground, 2 of them, right? Separated by a large distance. Okay, the same parent mesocyclone or spin aloft is driving it, but we're getting independent circulations underneath the parent circulation. Makes this especially dangerous. So you see 1 tornado, you see 2 tornadoes, 2 on the ground at the same time from the chopper here. Mason Dunn tracking it. Both of these are reasonably violent from time to time. Let's broaden the shot out again. Let's take a look at both of them. Let's take a look at both. So 2 on the ground here, separated by, Mason, how much distance would you estimate is in between these 2 tornadoes here, looking at it live? Folks, this is spectacular stuff in terms of the violentness of this weather today. Look at this, 2 tornadoes on the ground, same parent mesocyclone. Again, this is just north of Crescent, but very, very close to the north side of Crescent. But that's one giant circulation with 2 independent. Look at the one roping over there to the right. Really amazing stuff here from the chopper, and so dangerous. Mason, how much distance separates those 2 tornadoes, would you estimate? Yeah, this is really amazing stuff right here. Again, this is north of Crescent, north of Guthrie, large circulation with 2 tornadoes on the ground underneath the same parent mesocyclone. Again, the motion in these tornadoes is pretty violent. Looks like these winds are up there around the 150-mile-an-hour range, so they're significantly strong tornadoes. Again, north of Crescent here, tracking toward Orlando and Mulhall. Mason Dunn joins us here live again, looking at a spectacular but so dangerous scene up here in Logan County. Mason?
Yeah, Mike, those tornadoes are about a half a mile apart. They have passed Crescent, moving to the northeast. They've passed Crescent about, 5 miles to the northwest. We still got tornado 1, 2. Well, that one just roped out, so now we just got, it's just a huge wall cloud. Like I said, we had to move out to the east a little. The wall cloud is huge, even though the lowering, look to the right, Travis. Right in there, we got another tornado coming down, Mike. This one looks a little more impressive than the ones we've seen. I don't know how many tornadoes we've seen so far.
Faster motion with this for sure. Multi-vortex in structure here. So Mason estimates these are separated by about a half mile in distance. Again, same very large mesocyclone underneath that. So you see here, the motion here is getting faster and faster in this tornado, more and more violent. So we don't want it to be hitting any structures here, even though you can't see it connecting from the funnel down to the ground. Clearly, it is intermittently, at the very least, on the ground, perhaps virtually the entire way up here in Logan County. Again, north of Guthrie, south of Perry, southwest of Stillwater, moving toward Mulhall and Orlando. Mason Dunn again joins us here live, continued on the ground. Mason?
Yeah, Mike, we're just continue to follow this. I'm directly north of Crescent now. This is going to be coming close to Marshall now and Orlando. I think it's going to miss Mulhall to the west, but right now I can definitely feel the inflow picking up. A lot of rotation, just tornadoes coming down left and right. We're having to pan out every now and then and look behind us to make sure there's not one forming behind us. So we just saw 2 tornadoes at one time on the ground there. This one is the further north rotation, and looks like it has lifted at this time, Mike.
Okay, so the further north, or the lead tornado, has lifted. Again, very large, even though it just looks like low, dark clouds. This is a very large mesocyclone here with tornado circulations probably at each side, or about each side of the parent circulation, or the mesocyclone. So it looks like perhaps intermittent contact here likely continues. Let's take this opportunity to go over to Max 2 and show you where this is. That's probably still on the ground. Let's go ahead and push on in here. So you folks in Mulhall, the circulation is so large that any wobbling of the parent circulation back or forth could put any one of these locations and towns here in the danger path. So tornado warning, north central Logan County continues. So Orlando heads up, Lake McMurtry, Lake Carl Blackwell, Highway 51 and I-35 heads up. It is on the ground back again, clearly. So let's do a storm projection. Take that basically due northeastward, Damien. Due northeastward, back on the ground here again from Air Comfort Solutions Chopper 4. So Logan County, northern, maybe lean it ever so slightly more. There you go, perfect. So we're talking about Orlando and Perry at around 4:30. So Perry's here, Stillwater's here. At this juncture, it may go between Perry and Stillwater, but it's going to be lifting up through northern Logan County, then into southern Noble County, and maybe northwestern and west central Payne County. So right now north of Crescent, southeast of Marshall, and very close to and to the west of Mulhall. Let's go back over to the chopper. So it may go west of Mulhall, however, it may not, but the trend, again, back on the ground here, I think, for both of these. That one was on the ground a moment ago. That one appears to be going back down to the ground. Let's go back over to Mason Dunn, doing a great job here tracking this with Travis Shutton. Again, changing shape very quickly here. Tornado warning continues. Let's see what you think right here, Mason. What do you have?
Well, the one on the left is a huge rotation from the clouds here. You can see the base of the wall cloud getting closer to us, but a lot of rotation here, Mike. A lot of times we've had 2 tornadoes on the ground at once, and this storm continues as Travis is zooming in there on that's a wall cloud.
It's just west of 74 by about half a mile.
So looking at the shot here live, again, this is northern Logan County. Here's Oklahoma County. Let's also take this opportunity. Jeremy Carter's down there as well. Let's head on down into southwest Oklahoma. The tornado threat is going to be basically from going forward here. The tornado threat's going to be from the Watonga back down to Clinton, Weatherford, Custer City, Arapahoe, down to Elk City, out to Sayre and Eric, down to Harmon County. Impressive tornadic supercell coming into approaching Beckham County right now. Let's go ahead and push on into Beckham County. And these are impressive supercells here. Push on into Beckham County and down here in southwest Oklahoma. Impressive tornadic supercells here. And we've got a team of trackers also in far western Oklahoma. That is a tornado warning there. Let's do a storm projection on that for the folks in Beckham County and Harmon County and Greer County. Tornado warning now near north of Wellington, Texas. So this is a heads up for perfect. Eric, Sayre. So Texola, Eric, Sayre, Carter. So Texola there coming up in around 23 minutes from right now. Eric around 30 minutes from right now. Sayre around 45 minutes from right now. And then Carter around 50 minutes from right now. Carter, Oklahoma. Again, this is an update for Beckham County out in western Oklahoma. Coming out of the Texas Panhandle, tornadic supercells here. We've got a team of trackers out here in western Oklahoma. Let's walk down. That's an update for Beckham County. Again, take heed on this. Take heed. Tornado warning here. Big supercell, very large damaging hail coming out of the Texas Panhandle now near Wellington to the south of Shamrock and McLean, Texas, coming into Beckham County. Let's walk down to the supercell that's to the south of it, and this is going to be down here coming into Harmon County. There is a tornado warning in effect for Harmon County as well. So this storm right here. So this tornado warning for Harmon County continues. Let's go to Jeremy Carter in Harmon County. Again, this is an update for you folks in southwest Oklahoma. Tornado warning for Hollis. Go, Jeremy.
Yeah, Mike, I'm sitting up out west of El Dorado, right on the Harmon County line, and I can see the storm structure off to my west. Haven't had visibility of it yet. We're getting in place for this. When this mezzo crosses the Red River, I'm going to be pretty much right where it's going. Not a lot to see. We're going to keep everybody monitored on the situation here. Back to you, Mike.
Stillwater instead of Guthrie. You go to Guthrie, you'll lose.
Okay, Jeremy, appreciate that. Let's go back over to Max 2, show you where this is located. This is going to be approaching Harmon County. Heads up for you folks in Jackson County also, El Dorado, Hollis, El Dorado, over to Duke and Martha, Oklahoma, Jackson, western Jackson, northern Jackson, southern Greer County. Heads up for you. Hollis down to the border, down to the river, El Dorado area, large supercell there. Let's do a storm tracker on that as well. Take that due northeastward. Take that due northeast. We're talking about the one coming into far southwestern Oklahoma. And let's take that due northeastward and do a track adjust maybe and tap that just a little bit more down to about the river there. Just track it, start at the river there, take it due northeastward, and this is going to be a timeline here for you folks in southwest Oklahoma. Gould, very close and just southeast of Hollis, Duke at 434, Mangum at 451, Blair at 457. Tornadic supercell here, keep that in mind as it continues to move into southwest Oklahoma. Let's go back over to the tornadic storm, now north of Guthrie and west of Stillwater. So we're going to go back up to the one here in northern Logan County, and let's go ahead and push on in. Do we have the chopper? Can we take the chopper? Okay. So we're going to go over to Mark Dillard, I think, here perhaps next and get an update. And also, again, for you folks in Orlando. So this is a tornado warning continuing here. Orlando up into southern Noble County. So near and to the southwest of Perry. Let's go to Aaron Brackett now live. Again, this is a continued tornado warning. Aaron?
Yeah, Mike, we're doing a little repositioning right here because there's been a couple little radar returns that are just off to the west and west-northwest of Oklahoma City. We're just really fanning out and making sure that we have good coverage on this whole thing because as we saw, that's how this multi-vortex tornado situation started, by just being barely anything and turned into what we are showing here live on the air right now. So we're just fanning out to the west near the we're on the west side of El Reno right now is where we're at, and just watching for any additional development. Mike?
Let's go over to Mark Dillard here. I think we have Mark Dillard live. Mark Dillard live as well. Mark, give us an update. Tell us where you are right now.
Yes, Mike, I'm at the Abel community just north of Guthrie here. Trying to get a visual on this. The roads are one thing. You don't want to really get down to dirt roads because they're pretty much slop from all the rain we've had. But just trying to keep up with this thing has been a challenge. The choppers done an exceptional job. Hats off to those guys. But, you know, to talk about what's happened so far, Mike, the Metro's really dodged the bullet on round one as far as this goes. We have to be really thankful that no real population centers have been hit. But we're trying to catch up with this thing before it gets to the I-35 corridor now.
Okay, Mark, appreciate that. Let's go back over to radar, and we can show you here. We go over to, so the tornado warning continues, and this is going to be to the east of Marshall, southeast of Marshall, and well north of Guthrie now, okay? So it's pretty much making tracks for Perry. So it's going to be coming out of northern Logan County now. It's crossing Highway 51 currently. Tornado warning in effect continues. So crossing 51. So we're now talking about southern Noble County up to Perry. Let's go ahead and push in on max.
Tornado warning for the storm northwest of Hydro.
Okay, tornado warning northwest of Hydro. Let's go ahead and go on back. Let's check that out. We've got storm trackers there as well. Let's go back over to that northwest of Hydro on max 2. So this is going to be, let's go ahead and check it out here. So we're talking about this area northwest of Hydro. Let's get a clarification on that. What do you have for an exact location on?
Storm on boundary northwest.
Yeah, here it is right here. Thomas, Faye, Thomas. Watonga's got a very strong north wind. So Watonga is very cool with a very strong north wind. So the tornado circulation is going to be breeding down between Faye and Thomas. Say that again? Yeah. Southeastern Dewey, northeastern Custer into central Blaine. So this area of rotation is either going to travel over or just on the south side of Watonga. I know that Chris McBee is very close to that location as well. So we're going to be checking in with our team of trackers here on this next wave. This is the next wave here coming in. That is a tornado warning for Faye and for Thomas and for Watonga, and also heads up for you folks in Greenfield. West side of Watonga has a very strong north wind, 55 degrees. So that circulation is going to ride over toward Watonga. So you folks, Watonga up to near and north of Greenfield. New tornado warning here in effect for you, and that will be eventually going quite possibly into Kingfisher County. So that'd be Loyal, Omega, the community college, Kingfisher, Oklahoma. So that is a new tornado warning there.
North of Hydro was unconfirmed tornado of 5 minutes ago.
North of Hydro unconfirmed tornado report. That'd be very close to Thomas and Faye, Oklahoma, north of Bridgeport and Hydro. Bridgeport and Hydro.
Garfield, Logan, and Noble.
Okay, let's go back up, Damien, to the storm coming into the Perry area. So tornado warning here, southeastern Garfield to the east of Covington and Noble County, including Perry. So new tornado warning here. Let's go over to Mark Dillard. This is the one that's been producing a long-tracked multi-vortex tornado. And this is going to be just to the west and north of Orlando and then on up into Perry. Let's do a storm projection on that. New tornado warning there. This is for you folks in Perry now. New tornado warning for Perry. And Mark Dillard is going to be closing in very quickly on that. He's coming up I-35. He's near the Mulhall exit. So he will be arriving before this reaches Perry. These are moving quickly. These storms are moving very quickly. So, yeah, so I'd say Perry's pretty much red line, center line on this, folks. So this is dangerous. Now, keep in mind, this has been producing a large multi-vortex tornado, 2 tornadoes on the ground at the same time as well. So Emily Sutton's near Mulhall right now. Let's go to Emily. She's very close to this circulation right now. Emily?
Yeah, Mike, we are approaching, we're about 2 miles away from the 51 exit off of I-35. We just passed the Mulhall exit, and we're heading north. We're going to try and head towards the Perry area, and we had a clear view of the lowering. We know that this has a history of producing tornadoes. You know, our chopper pilot, Mason Dunn's been doing an excellent job. Like Mark Dillard said, it has been a bear to try and chase this thing as it's been flying. So folks in the path of this storm, it's going to be moving rather quickly, so you need to be prepared to seek shelter immediately. We're keeping a close eye on this rotation. Let's see, we're coming up now, Mike, on exit 174, Highway 51 for Stillwater and Hennessy. So on top of it.
Emily, appreciate that. Let's go back over to radar. Again, we have Emily and Mark Dillard both basically intercepting this storm that has been producing multiple tornadoes. And this is going to be on the west side of Orlando. It's going to go just southeast of Covington. And then from there up into Perry. So you folks in Perry, and then from there up to Sears and Red Rock. Sears and Red Rock southeast of Billings. So Sears, Red Rock, southeast of Billings, Perry, west and north of Orlando, north of Mulhall, Oklahoma, now tracking through the very southeastern corner of Garfield County, and then from there up into Noble County. Tornado warning in effect. There's your time of arrival. Orlando's on the fringe of it right now. Perry at 4:31. It's 4:12 right now. 4:12, 4:31 time of arrival. So you're talking about 20 minutes or so from right now. Perry, all right? This has been producing a significantly large tornado, multi-vortex in structure that's been reasonably violent. So it's a dangerous storm. Mark Dillard, if we can go to Mark Dillard, we can. All right, I'll tell you what, let's walk back down. We're going to keep a very keen eye on the Perry storm. Let's walk back down. We're going to talk to Mike Bennett on the next tornado warning down the line. So this is going to be north of Guthrie, west of Stillwater, coming up on Perry. This one is going to be near Thomas right now. Faye Thomas coming up toward Watonga and Greenfield. Mike Bennett is on that one. Tornado warning there. Blaine County. Go, Mike.
Okay, Mike, I don't know, we're probably like 10, 15 miles north of Calumet, Blaze North. We're trying to get to the Watonga tornado warning that was just issued. And right now I've got just dark blue skies back in there. I probably am about 5 minutes away from being able to see some storm structure back in there. In fact, Mike, I think I can make out a rain-free base to my west-northwest, but it's a little bit too hazy right now for me to give you much of a description on it, but we're on our way there, well en route. Mike?
Okay, very close to that area right there. We're talking about southwest of Watonga right here, folks. So he's essentially coming up on this tornado-warned storm. So this is Mike Bennett. Sarah Libby's in the neighborhood here as well. This is going to be the next wave, if you will, the next wave. Now, we have a long road to hoe here, folks. It's 4:14 in the afternoon. There's a lot more activity coming. And eventually it's going to begin to focus more on the metro. It's going to be a little while longer. Let's hope that doesn't happen, but the trend will be for more of a focus on the metro, beginning with the west and north metros. We head past the 5, 5:30, 6, 6:30 time frame, okay? So this is going to be eventually focusing more into the metro. Flooding threat is also there. So this is Mike Bennett. Let's go back to Mike Bennett here and take another look. And okay. Mike, again, you can you're coming up on basically the base right now. Again, this is southwest of Watonga near Faye and Thomas. Quick update here, Mike.
Okay, Mike. Yeah, I just checked GR level 3. Looking at the rain-free base of this storm, where I do not see a wall cloud yet, but right now it's really hard to make out a good visual on the structure. But it is a very, very healthy looking storm. We're going to have our partners here by west.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Back down here. So, okay. All right. So let's go over to Emily Sutton. We're going to update you folks in Perry. Again, so what we have going on, this area here was southwest of Watonga, okay? So there's a lot of cool air coming into Watonga right now. The circulation may go on the southern sides of Watonga down by Greenfield, but it's going to be coming into Blaine County near Watonga down to Greenfield out of Faye and Thomas. You see the rain-free base coming into view. Now, we want to go back over to the Max 2, and on Max 2, we're going to go from this tornado warning here, Blaine County, Faye Thomas area, near Greenfield. You all heads up here, Blaine County, over into Kingfisher County. Now, we want to walk up to Perry. Let's walk up to Perry here. And this rotation here continues, and then walk up to Perry and then push in. So here's the tornado circulation continuing, and it may be turning more to the right. So that's Marshall. So that potentially could push it more toward the southern sides of Perry. So yep, I'm with you. Yep, right here. Do what you're just doing. There's another rotation, Sarah, back to the west of Marshall. So this circulation here is the tornado circulation. So here's Perry. So it is still moving due northeastward right here. You see the motion, all right? So that'll be taking it up here toward Perry. So tornado warning here along and ahead of this track. Let's go to the intensity display on this. And this circulation here is also getting quite strong. This is going to be for Covington. Garfield County, here's the hook and the tornado warning. Let's go ahead and push on in to Perry. Okay, so here's Perry, and here's the circulation of the tornado. Let's go over to Max 3, and we have loaded up from the chopper just a very short while ago. If you're joining us here a short while ago, we had 2 tornadoes on the ground at the same time. Rope tornado there coming down. and this was from the chopper just a short while ago, about 15 minutes ago. A wedge-shaped tornado from time to time, multi-vortex in structure. This was in northern Logan County, north and northwest of Guthrie, and a little ways to the southwest of Perry. But this is the one now coming into the Perry area. This was from the chopper a short while ago up in northern Logan County. So this will be tracking now into Noble County in the Perry area. Let's go back over to Max 2. And we're going to go to Emily Sutton here coming up. So this is the tornado warning now coming into Perry. So Perry, tornado precautions, storm cellar, basement, tornado shelter, temporary structures, mobile homes, trailers are not safe. This has produced a tornado that has been reasonably violent and also fairly large, kind of wedge shaped, very low to the ground. Visibility is difficult to see. So this is heads up for Perry. Tornado precautions, you are under a tornado warning. Let's go to Emily Sutton if we can. Right after that, Mark Dillard tracking this now as she approaches Perry from the south coming up I-35. Emily?
Yeah, Mike, we're at the intersection of 51 and I-35. We got off here and went up on a hill and looked at it really quick. And now we're going to slowly drift north on I-35 to follow it as it heads into the other towns. Wow, the winds are really strong out of the southeast, whipping into the storm. Clouds moving really fast. We have not seen a current indication of a funnel, any visual of it at this time, but we certainly saw it earlier when the storm first went up. When Mason Dunn saw that first funnel, we had a close eye on it and then had quite a bit of trouble keeping up with it. My concern is I've been seeing a lot of semis, a lot of people driving. I think there are still some people completely unaware that a tornadic storm is heading their way. So hoping that everyone's paying attention, or if you have any loved ones that are driving, definitely alert them to this hazard. Mike, we are about 13 miles from the Perry exit on I-35 northbound.
Okay, good job, Emily. Appreciate that. That's going to be for Noble County for that continued tornado warning for the Perry area. So let's go back over to Max 1. And let's give you a bit of an overview. What we're going to do here is kind of back out and give you an overview as to what's going on right now and what will be happening in the next several hours. So we have a PDS tornado watch till 10 p.m. That is for particularly dangerous situation. That covers most of our viewing area, including the entire Oklahoma City metro area. That is for the possibility of long-tracked and violent and large tornadoes, in addition to 4-inch diameter hail and 90-mile-an-hour straight-line winds. There are the current warnings: flooding and severe thunderstorm warnings near and north of this wind shift line or warm front that is now just to the north of Oklahoma City, and most of the action has been along that. Wave number 2 is coming into southwest Oklahoma, and we're going to see a lot more tornadic activity. It looks like going forward, southwest Oklahoma and nearing the metros. We head toward 5, 6, and 7 o'clock. Okay, so if you live West Metro, North Metro, El Reno, Yukon, Piedmont, Okarche, Deer Creek, Edmond, Guthrie, you folks will begin to be impacted first, and then deeper into the metro the way it looks as we head past the 6 and 7 p.m. hour. A lot of us are listening to us on radio stations as well, so we're trying to paint a descriptive picture as to what we expect. You see tornado warnings right now for Blaine County, near and to the south of Watonga. Mike Bennett's on that with Sarah Libby, and also for the Perry area, Noble County, Mark Dillard, Emily Sutton on that, as well as Air Comfort Solutions Chopper 4. That's the one that produced this pretty long-tracked multi-vortex and multi-tornadic touchdown out of Kingfisher County into northern Logan County. You're watching us live a short while ago. It was quite dramatic and spectacular and pretty ominous in terms of the power that we had going on. So we have this wind shear line just on the west and north sides of Oklahoma City, that red line. That's where the winds are spinning maximum as you go through height in the atmosphere. It creates wind shear that enhances the tornado potential in these storms. And we have this supercell coming up on Perry with a tornado warning. Let me tell you, there's also rotation picking up west of Marshall that could be potentially tornadic pretty much as well at any time. See a hook there west of Marshall. That's a heads up for Marshall, far southeastern Garfield County, and rotation still tornadic just southwest of Perry now. Let's go back over with that in mind. Back to Emily Sutton now, just on the south sides of Perry, looking to the north and the northwest. Emily?
Yes, Mike, we're still traveling north on I-35. We are south of Perry. Actually, right now we're near Orlando, so we're just east of Orlando on I-35. We've got the circulation located to the west of us, and it is heading off to the north towards Perry. We are able to see the base at times right now. You know, it gets a little bit hillier here as we head more towards the Stillwater area, but we occasionally get a view of the base. Haven't seen a funnel lately. Very, very hazy out, so I think we're going to have to be kind of close to it to see it, as I know it's going to be challenging to see. But this has had a persistent circulation, a persistent hook, and we've watched it already cycle numerous times. Mason Dunn's been on top of that one. So anyone in the path of this storm, that includes the town of Perry, you need to take your tornado safety precautions. Okay, Mike, we're coming up on the Orlando Road exit 180 and 1 mile off of I-35 northbound. So we're tracking right alongside this as it moves off to the northeast towards Perry. So we're going to try and keep a close eye on it. It looks like the circulation's kind of broader now, but we'll be on top of it, Mike.
Emily, good report. Appreciate that. Let's go back over to Max 2 and show you Max 2. So here's the rotation. So it's still a large circulation center, still also appears to have potentially some multi-vortex activity in it. It's coming up on Perry right now. It is a large circulation. We simply cannot let our guard down in terms of the threat level for Perry, okay? Still looks to be tornadic. Still looks to have 2 circulation centers like it has for quite some time. Also, there is significant circulation on the northwest side of Marshall. All right, so that's going to be coming up on Covington. It's not tornado warned yet, but it is significant, and it's not far below tornado criteria. So Covington, southeast Garfield County, heads up for you, all right? The storm coming up in your southwest, moments away. You've got to stay very alert. Now, Perry also still looks to be tornadic, still looks to be multiple tornadic, 2 circulation centers. Let's go back over to Emily, and let's get an update here. She should be getting more detail now coming view as she comes in to the southern sides of Perry right now. Emily?
That's right, Mike. Right now we're getting off on exit 180 Orlando Road. I'm going to try and turn around and spin around to get a better vantage point of this storm. We have to be cautious when we pull off on the side of the road because everything is so wet. And obviously don't want to get stuck on a day like this today. But tornadic storm still ongoing. I'm going to pull up here. We're about to get on top of this hill, and then we'll definitely have a better vantage point. We're going to be keeping a close eye on this, especially as it continues to head northeast towards the town of Perry. Anyone in this path definitely needs to seek shelter. Hang with us for a second, Mike. We're about to get a better vantage point. I'm trying to get up on a hill here. All right, maybe we can pull over here. Yeah, there we go. Josephine's able to get a shot of it. Again, until you're right up next to the circulation, it's going to be really hard to see. I'm having trouble getting a good visual of the base of this storm just because the atmosphere just has so much moisture in it. It's so hazy. So challenging to see. But like you said, it's a persistent circulation and could drop a tornado at any time. So, again, we're at Orlando Road and I-35 northbound. And, Mike, very concerning seeing all these people blasting north on I-35 right into the path of this storm. So they definitely need to be careful, hopefully get off the road.
Okay, let's go over to Mark Dillard's stream. Let's go to Mark Dillard's stream. So in the interceptor here, so Mark is very close to Perry right now. So we need to emphasize the threat level for Perry. Let's go back over to Max 2 and show you that we have this large circulation. Let's go ahead and push on in. And so we have 2 areas here of rotation. One is just southwest of Perry. The other one is a little ways to the west of Gansel. So just on the west side of Gansel there on the highway, 2 areas here. It's had multiple tornadoes here in the past. 2 main areas underneath a very large and also quite strong mesocyclone. So this will be tracking Perry, West Perry, Perry, West Perry, North Perry, Perry, West Perry, North Perry. Still looks to be tornadic circulation there and could easily be multi-vortex and large. It is likely very, very low to the ground. So this is still a heads up with this tornado warning in Noble County. Okay, so don't take this lightly. Perry, West Perry, Perry, West Perry, North Perry, I-35, crossing I-35 here, west and northwest of Perry. Again, 2 circulations here, giant mesocyclone, very, very large, with 2 main circulation centers embedded inside of that. Let's back out on that and go to intensity and do a storm projection straight northeastward. And this is going to be also, if our storm trackers are monitoring, developing circulation west of Kingfisher right now. So let's take this due northeastward, but keep Perry keep it in the track, keep it in the cone. Keep Perry in the cone, but begin it just on the west side, west-southwest side of Perry. Put Perry on the edge of it. So Sears and Red Rock is where this is tracking. So out here, Sears and Red Rock is where that's perfect right there. So Perry right now, especially West Perry, Central Perry, North Perry. And then the Black Bear Creek area around I-35, and then Red Rock at 4:50, Marland at 5 o'clock, tracking northeast at 40 to 45 miles per hour. Again, it's had a history of producing large and perhaps even violent tornadic activity, a history of that. Tornado warning does continue. Let's go back over to Mark Dillard's stream. Let's show you Mark Dillard. And here's the stream here from very close to Perry right now. If we have Mark.
Yes,
So, Mark, are you there on the interceptor? Do you have an update here for us?
Yes, Mike, just north of Orlando now, and we're pulling up. The motion in the clouds above us is very rapid back toward our north, well, basically west-northwest toward the circulation. So we're keeping an eye on it, but I can tell you I can't really make out much of a lowering or even a funnel or anything on the ground right now, Mike. It's just too hazy in between me and the circulation. But the motion in the clouds is still very, very, very fast. So we're going to continue to track it here on 77 north out of Orlando by about 5 miles. Back to you.
Okay, appreciate that. So let's go back over to Max 2 now. You folks ahead of this, we're going to leave you for just a minute and go over to other tornadic storms. We got to talk about, we have multiple tornado warnings in effect. So before we leave you though, North Perry, Northwest Perry, that appears to be the case. Looks like that circulation may possibly, the way it looks right now, be clearing Perry. Very close. Just to make sure though, let's push in. Let's look at velocity because it's very, very close. Yeah, just right on the western I-35 at the Perry exit. Circulation there, yes. Just on the west side, north side of Perry, Interstate 35, all right? Interstate 35, Perry exit, northward from there, up to Sears and Red Rock, Black Bear Creek, crossing at I-35 back when the 1991 April 26th tornado crossed. That'd be the natural gas field there to the south of Billings. So that valley right there, that Black Bear Creek Valley, so still a very large circulation literally on the west side of Perry, lifting up towards Sears, Red Rock, from there up toward Marland. It will, for now, this will stay well to the northwest of Stillwater. However, let's go back down the line, go back to intensity, and there are other hooks now forming quickly. So we're going to leave this storm here momentarily. So notice, let's go to velocity here near Dover. So now we're going to be checking in, folks, with Sarah Libby. So walk down to Dover. Yep. So is this TLX or Vance? Okay. So this is intensifying rotation now near Dover up to Hennessy, all right? So this is intensifying rotation. So this is going to be just to the west-northwest of Dover. Also, let's back to the west. That's Kingfisher County there. Dover, Hennessy, heads up. Especially Dover north on 81 to Hennessy, heads up there. So northern Kingfisher County, heads up. No tornado warning, but it's increasing very quickly. There's a hook with it as well. Let's go to Bennett, Mike Bennett near Omega. Mike Bennett, if you can swing it, track a little ways back to the east and then to the north. You're near Omega right now. Go, Mike Bennett.
Mike, we're just about a mile west of Omega. Looking back to the west-southwest at the tornado warning storm, I will tell you that the storm you're talking about over Dover was developing over our heads as we were making our way here, and we had rotation in it as it was developing in its development stages. So that storm really bears watching because it had some pretty good rotation in it, and we just went ahead and punched through it to get to this one. And it was just a baby storm at that time. And so if that thing goes severe, it's going to be a tornado producer. In fact, Mike, I'm thinking maybe I ought to go ahead and make my way back and jump on that storm. Well, what do you think?
Mike Bennett, yes, please go ahead and start moving. This is a heads up for you folks in Kingfisher County and northern Logan County again. Mike Bennett is going to start moving here. He needs to head back to the east and then get over into the northern Logan County area. Okay, so let's go back to max 2. So again, very dynamic situation here, what's going on. So we're looking at intensifying rotation now. It looks to me like it's becoming tornadic here pretty quickly. North side of Dover, let's go ahead and push in a little, push in just a little bit with it. Okay, looks like it quite well could be going tornadic right now. I would expect a tornado warning here to come out at any time. For northern Kingfisher County near Dover, on up to Marshall, north and west of Crescent, up to Marshall, Highway 51, Hennessy Marshall, Highway 51. Let's go to intensity. Hook really coming back up. Mike Bennett is now moving. Okay, so here is the developing hook right here. It's also starting to turn more to the right. So this has got a pretty high probability of coming tornadic. Kingfisher County, it's north of Kingfisher and northwest of Crescent and southwest of Marshall and Orlando. So in other words, this will be coming through northern Kingfisher County to northern Logan County, maybe into southeastern Garfield County. It may not take long for this to become tornadic. I would expect a tornado warning here pretty much coming out at any time for the Dover area. We're going to go back to Mike Bennett on that. Mike Bennett's going to stay on that storm. Now let's go back over to Aaron Brackett. Let's walk down the line. Let's walk down the line here to Watonga. This looks all outflow dominated, cold air coming through. Doesn't look especially threatening right now for the Watonga area in terms of tornadoes, but some damaging wind, a lot of heavy rain. Aaron Brackett joins us live from near Watonga.
Yeah, Mike, there's no tornado threat here right now. It's 59 degrees. I'm just south of Watonga, and I'm heading eastward, okay? So we're heading east toward the more favorable environment. It dropped from the upper 70s to the upper 50s in about 2 miles. So, I mean, I'm kind of riding the boundary. I'm going to get just east of it and kind of investigate the storms that are a little bit closer to Loyal and Dover. We're going to come in on the backside of those before too long. So we're not far from them, just up to the east of Watonga right now. But folks in Watonga, I know you just had that tornado warning. There's no tornado threat when we're 59 degrees. Back to you.
Okay, appreciate that. So